Vieux Carre, more like Who Carre. Hello and welcome to Intoxicated Masculinity. If it's Wednesday, we have a cocktail video coming at you. Given the cold weather is coming in December, I've been doing some whiskey cocktails. We're going to continue on with that. And today we're going to do the Vieux Carre. The Vieux Carre was invented by Walter Bourgeon in the 1930s. I saw actually some conflicting dates. I saw 1938. I thought some said kind of earlier in the 1930s. But at the Montleone Hotel in the French Quarter, Vieux Carre just means old square, is what they refer to the French Quarter in French. And I mean, you know, New Orleans in the United States is kind of a center for cocktail development. It's probably one of the more important cocktail cities in the world. And it's about time we got down there. So I'm going to do two versions of this cocktail, maybe less, not exactly two versions, two different sets of ratios. So when I was researching this cocktail, there sort of is different schools of thought as far as what your ratios of cognac and rye to your Benedictine are. So I'm going to do one that is the very much heavy cognac bourbon, and the other one that has the higher percentage of Benedictine, however you want to pronounce it. And I'm going to see kind of which one I think works better as a cocktail. But now that we know that, let's get some stuff together to actually make it. Okay, so we got our two mixers. This is going to be a mixed cocktail, not a shaken. Again, we are going to be on my left side, we are going to be doing our bourbon cognac heavy, and on my right, the more Benedictine, not exactly heavy, but the cocktail is going to have a little more Benedictine in it. So on our left, we're going to start off with 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. And on my right, we're just going to do 1 dash. We're also going to do the same with our Peychauds. So on our left, 2 dashes, and on our right, 1 dash. Next, we're going to do our Benedictine. Let me know how you pronounce that. I'm always going both ways on that one. Okay, so in our light, or excuse me, our bourbon and cognac heavy version, we're just going to do 1/4 ounce of Benedictine. And in our heavier version, we're going to do 1/2 ounce of Benedictine. The thing that's kind of interesting about this is this is going to be basically equal parts, and I don't know how that's going to work out. We will see. So now we got our sweet vermouth in our bourbon cognac heavy. We're going to do 3/4 of an ounce. And our more Benedictine, or I think this maybe the best thing to call this one is maybe our balanced version. We're going to toss in 1/2 ounce of sweet vermouth. Finally getting to our base spirit. I'm just using Cavassier VS. So in our heavier version, we're going to toss in a full ounce. And in our balanced version, another 1/2 ounce. Now, I saw several recipes. Some called for bourbon, but it seemed to me that across the board, this tend to be a more rye-focused cocktail. So I'm going to use rye. And in our heavy, we are going to use 1 ounce. Been sort of abusing our Sagamore lately. And in our balanced version, just like the other ingredients, just 1/2 ounce. Okay, let's get some ice in these things. Okay, so let's get some ice in our mixing glasses. Give these a good mix. Now obviously the one here that is the more balanced, it's just got less liquid in it overall. So it's going to look a little bit lighter. I could actually see doing this up in maybe a coupe glass. Look a little more like a Manhattan. Okay, good there. And over 2 hour bourbon and cognac heavy version. Something I've noticed on this channel, I've done a lot more shaken cocktails than I have mixed. I'm not quite sure why. I think there's just a lot of mixed cocktails out there, especially that tend toward tiki, and tiki cocktails have a tendency to be shaken. All right, so we've got, in this case, I'm going to serve both of these in just a chilled rocks glass with one big rock in there. Again, this one might look a little light, but we will see. I guess not really. And then to our boozier variant. Interesting. And then, never miss an opportunity to use your Luxardo cherries. You can also do this with a lemon twist too, but I'm a sucker for a Luxardo cherry. We don't do sponsorships on this channel, but I would certainly consider Luxardo. All right, so I'm going to try, I think I'm going to try the balance first. Now that's not bad. It does, so the Benedictine is kind of sweet, and this comes off as awfully sweet, to be honest. The flavors are good. The flavors are very good. But to me, I think that's a little oversweetened. Let's try our more boozy version. Yeah, probably not surprising anyone. I like this a lot better. I feel like the Benedictine is something you really want to use kind of sparingly. And I feel like a full half an ounce in there is just too much. So the flavors. This cocktail has molded together really, really well. I'm not picking out a lot of the specific flavors. The flavors have gelled very well together. I mean, you're getting that rye kind of around the outside of your palate, that spiciness. You're getting the bitters from the bitters, and a little bit of sweetness from the Benedictine. I would say the cognac is not holding up real well, but I don't think that necessarily hurts the cocktail. I mean, the cognac's bringing, I think, a little bit more sweetness, but that sort of, not like a syrupy sweetness. I think that it's probably a good thing. This would, if you use 2 ounces of just rye in this instead of using the cognac, it's going to be a much more spiced kind of cocktail. This is a little softer, not super sweet, certainly not as sweet as that, but no, the flavors really mold together very well in this cocktail. You do get sweetness on those too. This one though, I'm going to try one more time. I mean, it's good. It's flavorful. It just comes off as a little bit too sweet to me. If you're somebody that really likes sweet cocktails, I would definitely try this. Again, flavors are really good, and also mold together really well. It kind of evolves a little bit. The rye is very softened in this, so if you're somebody who is not a rye fan, this is probably a little bit more for you. But in my opinion, I think that the bourbon and cognac heavy is just a better cocktail. But again, I leave it up to you. And there are different versions of this where there are sort of more gradations, where I've seen somewhere 3/4 of an ounce of your sweet vermouth, bourbon, rye and cognac. And so again, you can kind of play with those. I think this is just about perfect though. Anyway, on that bombshell, I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a good drink, and have a good day. I'm very proud of that, even though it doesn't mean anything.